Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Buzzy B here once again. This is a channel where we do filmmaking, anything that's film related, videos, whether we color grading, whether we reviewing products, anything that's film related, you are at the right channel. Right. Alright, so guys, so this week I wanna, do some color grading of some drone footage that I've shot. 2 weeks back. Me and a couple of friends, we went. Just one Saturday we decided, let's pack up stuff early morning on a Saturday. Went to the river, went to go, fishing. Well, I'm not really the fishing type, and this is really my first experience fishing. And I don't want to offend anyone, but fishing is really boring. I have to say, because I mean, you just sit here, you cast something, and then you wait the whole day until something bites. And if it doesn't bite, then wasted. Well, but it was nice, chatting with friends. Just different. I was just looking for different scenery. You understand? So yeah. And while I was at there, obviously, I took my drone with and shot a couple of shots. So I selected one clip here that I just want to show you guys. How do I do my color grading on some drone footage? I mean, obviously there's a lot of ways that you can go about this, but it's just me, my way. And hopefully you guys can learn something from this. I shoot um, my drone is the Hotel Evil, right? The first edition. I would love to get the second edition. It's got 6K. They've got a 6K one. They've got an 8K one. I would go for the 6K one. I know you guys, there's a lot of DJI fans, but the reason why I never went with DJI is because of it's got some limitations. The no-fly zone thing doesn't work for me. You understand? So I think that's one of the main reasons why I didn't go with the DJI. And I think the other thing was also at that time. That particular drone, I think it was a Mavic Pro, didn't have 10-bit. Now the Hotel Evo, it's got 10-bit, it's got slow motion, it's got DCI 4K. You can choose DCI 4K, you can choose UHD 4K, and obviously it's got 1080 and some nice slow motion in 1080. But I've never shot 1080. Most of the times I normally do DCI 4K, or if I really want, if I know that I'm gonna use a clip and I'm gonna slow it down in post-production, then I'll do UHD 4K, because that's the only one that can give me up to 50 or 60 frames per second, whereas with the DCI 4K, it'll only give you 24 or 25 or 30 frames per second. Yeah, so let's not waste time, guys. Let's get right into this, and let's create magic, man. Let's go. All right, so I'm sorry if you guys hear some crickets at the back in the background. I was looking for it actually, earlier, and I was moving the curtain, and yeah, it went quiet for 3 seconds, and then it started again. So it's a lost case, guys. I'm really sorry, I'm using my TV obviously, because I normally use my TV for as a project monitor, for my color grading. So it's got this, I don't know if you guys can see on my head, it's got this cast, doesn't really look nice, but my apologies for that. Unfortunately, normally with these videos I never put my TV on, but in this case I just felt if I want to do this properly, I'm gonna have to switch on my TV, right? All right, so bear with me. All right, so here's the clip, guys. I'm just gonna play it for you guys, not very long. All right, let's do this so you guys can see properly, man. So that's the clip. As you can see, obviously I kept it very low on the water. I wanted that kind of feel, and then obviously towards the end you will see me obviously going up. So yeah, man, looks pretty nice. This was I would say maybe around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You can see it's As you can see, it's quite bright. So yeah, it's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Alright, so there's the clip. Let's get out of there. So now obviously this is the only clip in here I'm gonna highlight. That clip is already highlighted, so I'm just gonna go to my color page. Right, and then the first thing I want to check is I want to check my scopes. I'm just gonna bring my scopes over here, and as you can see, in terms of the exposure, you can see where it sits. Alright, so what I would do is I would like bring it down a little bit, but I think for now what I'll do is let me just create another node here. Right, just bring this down a bit. There's a second node over here, so that node I'm going to use for noise reduction, right? If there is, that I have to, do some noise reduction. Remember with these drones, cameras are very small, guys, so but it's inevitable you are going to run into some noise in your footage. Maybe if it was a 1-inch sensor, it would have been, much better result in terms of your footage, but in this case my drone is not a 1-inch sensor. Hence I was saying I would like to go for the 6K one, the second edition, because that one's got a 1-inch sensor, and the quality is so much better, but it's expensive. So yeah, I'm gonna have to save up and work hard, so to get that one. Alright, but anyway, so let's go. So yeah, so like I said, I would like to bring my exposure down, so I just want you to check over here. Right, so I'm just gonna go to my color wheels over here, and then let me just move this around there. You can still see this, and I'm just gonna, on my offset, I'm just gonna dial it back a little bit and try and bring it down, so it's more like in the middle of the whole thing. I would say somewhere there, right? Alright, so now obviously now you can see what it has done to the footage over there. If you look closely, obviously it has, it's not as bright as it was. So I'm just, trying to get the exposure proper. Alright, so then what I would do, I would go to my saturation. Let's dial the saturation up a little bit. Let's see how far we can go. I think what we should do is let's just do this so you guys can see better. So let's just dial it up. I don't want to take it up too much. Maybe around 80. Let's do 80. Right, I think 80 looks okay. Around 80. Then I would like to dial in. I'm gonna add some contrast. So let's just dial it up a little bit and see how far we can go with the contrast. So it doesn't look funny. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy to add contrast. Yeah, I think let's leave it at 1.4, for the contrast. I think that's okay. And now, but like I said, guys, look carefully to what it does here in the parade, right? So now I'm gonna go to my lift, and I'm just gonna dial my lift back a little bit, because we want to get as close as possible to the bottom over here, right? So let me just do this. I just want to check something. Show reference levels. No, we don't need that. It's fine. Alright, so I'm just gonna dial it back. I want you guys to look carefully what it does. So I would say somewhere there. We don't want to crush anything. You see, if you go too much, you're gonna crush. So let's keep it somewhere there for now, right? And then I'm just gonna dial, obviously we need some highlights now. As you can see, it's very dark over there, so we need to get our highlights up to more or less there. So I'm just gonna increase my gain a little bit. Somewhere there. Maybe I'll just check my gamma and see I would put my gamma on -1. Yeah, so I would do that over there. I just want to see something. Yeah, let's just use this for now. We can go back to all the waveforms and vector scopes and everything. But for now, we're just gonna use this. So I'm just gonna park it over there. Right. So yeah, basically this is our basic color correction that we are busy with at the moment, right? So we're just dialing in, just to get everything, the way it's supposed to be, right? So I would say I'm quite happy with the way that looks. So that I'm gonna go with that as my basic color correction, right? Right. So now I'm gonna add another node. Remember now with the nodes, the next one you add stacks on top of the previous one. Remember last week we spoke about audio in terms of our effects that we put on our audio. Exactly the same thing. The next one you put on stacks on top of the first one. Alright, so obviously this one is going to have an effect on the previous one. So that's why it's very important that you create different nodes and maybe make little tweaks on each and every different node. So when you go back and you wanna rectify something or you wanna readjust something, then you can just do it on that particular node. You understand? Because now you're gonna have everything on one node. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're gonna have everything on one node, you're gonna struggle to, it's gonna be too much. So to make it easier for you, rather create more nodes and then do each and every effect or adjustment that you want to make to that particular node, right? So just a tip. So on this one, I'm gonna go to my shadows over here. So, and I'm just gonna dial it back a little bit in the shadows. Just dial it back a little bit in the shadows. I would say somewhere there. Alright. Highlights, I think we're cool, man. We don't wanna. I think you see if I go up, it's like it's too much. So let's just stay safe over there. Right. Then I'm just gonna check if I should do anything on midtones. Let's play around with the midtones. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, we can do something on midtones. Yeah, maybe minus 31 is fine. Yeah, I think that's that for that one. Right, so now I'm gonna create another node, and on this one I would like to create the look that I actually wanna go for, right? So I mean, obviously here you can, if you want, you can put on a LUT or whatever, you understand, but in this case I'm not gonna put on a LUT. I just think maybe if we do this, I just think maybe in the sky, and especially the trees over here, I would like to add some more green in the trees, and I would like to add some more blues in the sky, right? Okay, so now how do we do that? So now on this note, I'm gonna go to my curves over here, right? And then I'm gonna skip to my, so you see these small dots here. You can click on one, you can see this is U versus Luma. This is Luma versus saturation. Actually, this is what I wanted to do over here. I just wanna dial my Luma, I just wanna dial this down. Yeah. So it doesn't affect the whole clip and only certain parts of the shadows, right? So but remember, we already made an adjustment on that, so I just want to double check. Yeah, I think that's proper. Alright, so let's go back to this one. Like I said, we go into our curves, and I'm looking for the U versus saturation, and this is the one. This is the one I'm looking for, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my eyedropper over here, and I'm gonna click on these trees, and now you can see obviously it select that color that I've clicked on. So now what I'll do is I'll just drag this out a little bit more over there. Let's just drag it out. I'll keep it on that line. And now obviously to add you have to go up, right? So now I'm just gonna add more greens. I'm not gonna go too heavy, right? Let's add more greens. Let's just check. That looks okay, right? That looks okay to me. Let's just check if I do this. Switch on and off. It has a small effect. It's very subtle, you know, but it has added, you know, just to create some more punch. I can even go higher if I really want to. I mean, but I never know. We don't wanna go over the top, right? So we just maybe somewhere there. Let's just check on and off. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm happy with that. Let me just show you guys again. Right. So there we are. Right. And now I want to go to my sky, and I'm just gonna click there. Remember we're in the same node, and then obviously there you see, you know, it'll appear, those 3 dots will appear, and then I'll just drag it out a little bit here. And I'm sorry about the dogs, man. Anyway, so obviously we want to go up. So now you can see exactly what it does to the footage over there, right? If you go too high, you must also now take into consideration your scopes over here, right? So what I'll do is, let me just do this, and let's open up the 4. So now obviously we have to check our vector scope as well, because remember we don't want to exceed that, you know, go too far, right? That's too much. So I would park it somewhere there. Right? And let's just bring this down. And now, I mean, obviously, as you can see, let's do this, and then let's just do this. I'll do this for you guys, so you can see. Obviously, it's added, you know, more blues in the sky, and obviously you can see on the water, it's kind of as if the sky is reflecting on the water, right? Remember, the water is green. Obviously, you know, these rivers. It's very unlikely that you'll find, you know, river water that's gonna be blue. It's normally, you know, this muddy, greenish look. Anyway, yeah. So now you can see what it is done. That's off. That's on. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that one. All right, so let's go on. So yeah, that's what I would do over there, right? So now I would maybe, you know, create another node, and now I'm just gonna check my scopes, and as you can see here, you know, the blues are a bit high. So what I'll do is on this one, let's just park it over there. What I'll do is on this one, I'll go back to my wheels over here, and you know, the shadows, I'll maybe just, you know, bring the highlights down a little bit, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, bring it down a little bit like that. And I would go over here and my shadows over here, and I don't know, for some reason I feel it looks a bit warm. Maybe in the shadows I just want to, you know, dial it back towards a cooler kind of look, not too much, you know, just dial it back a little bit over there, right? And then maybe let me go over here, let me just check if I go this way. I don't want it to be that warm, you understand what I'm saying? If I go that way, it's going to be more green. So I just want to go towards a, you know, more cooler kind of a look, not too much, slightly. Just do that again, slightly. Yeah, I would say that's fine. Okay, let me just check. I don't know. Let me just check if I add some contrast over here. No, no. I'll just go back to the first one. To my first note. I think 400 is fine, man. Yeah, you can see it's too much, man. I would say 3 or 4. Or maybe say 3 or 4. Let's just check now quickly what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, this don't look bad at all. If you look at it, you can see, the weed in the water. So now it's like it's obviously, the water's green, but there's also like a blue reflection of the sky that's on the water. Alright, so let's just go forward. I just want to check over there. So now we can also see, how nice green, everything looks from the top. Right. I mean, if I look at my scopes, my highlights is in check. I think we are still safe here. Definitely, we're still safe here. Within these parameters. Yeah, obviously, the blacks is at the bottom, right? So yeah, that looks gorgeous to me. I don't know about you guys, and I mean, do we even need to do some noise reduction over here? Is it even necessary? Maybe a little bit, Okay, so let's do that. Let's do some noise reduction. Keep it very subtle. Remember, the first note that I've selected is for my noise reduction, so we just go over here and motion effects. I'll change this to 3 and I'll change this to better. And normally what I'll do is I'll put this at 8.8, both, and on this one I'll switch off, so it only affects the chroma. The chroma I'll put on 6.6. Right. Cool. But now, obviously, what you need to take into consideration, and be very careful of, is remember, whenever you're gonna add noise reduction, it's gonna make your image or your footage very soft. So obviously, what you need to do now is I'm gonna have to add some sharpening, right? So that I'm gonna put another node over here, and this one I'm gonna add some sharpening. So we go to our blur over here, and I'm just gonna drop this down to 47. Don't add too much. Trust me, it's gonna look very weird. So now there you can see, doesn't look that soft anymore, I think that looks stunning. What do you guys think? Yeah, but like I said, I mean, obviously, if you really want to go to the extreme, you can put on a lot, and then you can avoid all those steps I've just showed you. You can put on a lot, but you must be very careful when you use a lot, because sometimes it'll add maybe too much saturation or too much contrast or whatever. You can dial it back, obviously the LUT, but you still have to fine tune things, man. So in this case, I think it's best to do it like this. You don't use the LUTs, and you dial in the look that you want to go for. So that's the look that I want to go for, right? So obviously now you will see, if I play this back, let me just check. I need to do this. Okay, now it's on. That's fine. Because sometimes when your note catch is off or is on auto, I would suggest, especially when you're doing noise reduction, rather put it on, right? So it renders. You understand? Because if it's not on, trust me, you're gonna have difficulties when you play it back. It's gonna play, you know, it's gonna be very laggy, So it's gonna have some lag and it's not gonna look very nice. So rather switch your node catch on, and then what you can also do is we go back to your editing page, and then you can just right click on this and you switch on your render catch fusion output, switch it on. In this case you can see it's on, and then you go back to your playback render catch. You can put it on user or on smart, and then you will see this. There will obviously now it's already rendered because it's blue, but if it wasn't, it would show red. And once you do those or follow those steps, it's gonna obviously turn to blue. And now if I play it back, it has absolutely no difficulty playing back because your clip is rendered. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, man. I had fun. I really like the look. Obviously, there's a lot more that we can do, but I didn't really want to go to the extreme. Just a basic grade, and it still looks nice. You see all the details, everything in the shot. The trees are nice and green. It's got some nice sharpness. The grass on the other side. Obviously these are plantations. I think it's a farmer's farm. So obviously, you'll see the nice greenery, and like we've done in the sky, we've added some more blues in the sky, so it doesn't look, because it didn't look that bad, but it was, for me, it was, it needed that extra punch. So it doesn't look blown out. Everything looks proper. It's not overexposed or underexposed. It looks nice. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have learned something from this. I mean, obviously I would like to see what you guys are up to. If you have a drone, obviously show us how do you do your grade. I would like to see that. Or if you don't know how to grade your footage, guys, please don't be shy to reach out to me. Obviously we can negotiate something. It's always gonna be business. It's always gonna be business. So don't be scared, or don't be afraid to reach out to me. It doesn't matter, whether it's drone footage, whether it's footage that you shot on your camera, it doesn't matter. And you need someone, if your hands are full, and you need someone that can do some, coloring on your footage, then reach out to me. All my details are in the description, so please go and check that out. Guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up and hit the notification bell, because we're trying to do this each and every Wednesday. Alright, on that note, adios. I'm out. Peace.